Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, a special welcome to you. I ask that you check out the rest of my videos. If you like what you see, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, but more than anything, I'm asking that you subscribe to the channel. Today I'm going to be discussing my thumbnail, which is titled Deportee Suffers Double Jeopardy in Jamaica. I came across a YouTube video this morning, and after watching the YouTube video, I was kind of moved by the content of the video, and instead of making a comment on the video, which would be a lengthy comment, I've decided that I'm just going to do a video of my own, which is really my feedback of what I think of the video, but considering now that I'm using it as a subject on my channel, I'm just going to broaden it. So the video is really about a Jamaican individual by the name of Davian Scott, who was deported from the United States of America. After watching the video this morning, which also encourages viewers to check out the background story online, I did check out the background story online, only to find out that the incident happened about 3 years ago, because the news clip that I found was dated January 2016. Despite the length of time that has passed since the actual incident, this individual continues to suffer consequences which I have termed as double jeopardy in his home country of Jamaica. To learn his reality did bother me a little, so I just thought I could use my platform as a way of aiding him, because at the same time it seemed like his only desire was to let his cry be heard and to get it declared from the Jamaican government or the people of Jamaica whether or not the consequences that he's suffering is just. In my eyes, it is unjust. I'm going to actually brief you to what I've gathered of his story, and at the end of my video I'm just going to leave the link to the YouTube channel which I got the source from, and you guys can actually hear his actual voice and hear him actually tells his story to this Jamaican YouTuber. Apparently, Davian, who lived in the United States of America, lived in the state of Georgia, where he was allowed legally to have firearms. And according to what I got from the story, he had 2 or 3 firearms for himself. And one day after church, him, his wife, and his wife's sister was at home, and some conversation came up about the firearm, and while trying to get the firearm out of its holster, the firearm accidentally went off and shot his wife in, I believe, the leg, and the same bullet ricocheted and shot his sister-in-law. No ill feeling were actually held against Davian by his wife or his sister, because everybody realized that it was actually an accident. However, even though his wife and his sister decided that it was an accident and no legal prosecution is necessary, in the United States of America, some states, in particularly Commonwealth states, have a legal right to pick up the case even if the victim, if there's a victim, decides that they do not want to prosecute. For all you Jamaicans that may not have heard or understood what I just said, I'll simplify it. For example, I accidentally blind you or knock your tooth out, and you choose not to press charge. The state in which we're living in can actually press charge and act in the sense or behave in the manner as if the offense was to them. Ridiculous, right? May sound ridiculous to us, but if you live in the United States of America, that's their law and you have to respect their law. The unfortunate thing about this incident, Davian had to actually spend some time in prison, and he served about a little over a year and eventually was deported. It was unfortunate for me to even hear that or listen to it, but it is what it is. So let's move on to the part where I'm actually trying to imply a solution for his situation. After watching this video, you'll realize that Davian is not only an ambitious type of young man, but he's also very educated and got a few subjects under his belt. He seemed to have taken his deportation order and his deportation consequences on the chin, went back to Jamaica, and was just doing what he think he can do in that situation. He actually was trying to find gainful employment as best as he could. In his quest for employment and training, Davian encountered 2 or 3 times where he questioned whether or not he has to declare that he was arrested and charged in the United States of America for that crime. A few people in position actually encouraged him not to declare that because that offense or that charge was not actually on the soil of Jamaica, and it's pretty much happened outside of Jamaica's jurisdiction. Those advices I aligned with. I agree with those advice 100%. I believe that legally Jamaica Minister and Ministry of Security is more concerned about crimes committed in Jamaica. And the reason why I am for that is simply because it's out of Jamaica's jurisdiction. We have to respect individual countries' law, and we also have to respect the fact that Jamaica in itself is an independent country and it has its own legal framework separate from the United States of America. There has to be some agreement between Jamaica and the United States of America that has been established that Jamaicans prosecuted in the United States of America are equally considered criminals in Jamaica. To my knowledge, I am not aware of such agreement in existence. What I do know is that Jamaica and the United States of America has an extradition agreement. Therefore, if someone commits a crime in the United States of America, runs to Jamaica, Jamaica has some agreement with the United States of America that it will aid them finding that individual and that Jamaica will not aid and abet that person on the island of Jamaica. That I know for a fact. But in regards of Jamaicans convicted in the United States of America, Canada, or any foreign country for that matter, to my knowledge, it does not affect one's status in Jamaica. And if it does not affect one's status in Jamaica, it should not be held against an individual who is returned to Jamaica. I see that as double jeopardy because you already pay the consequences in a foreign country for an alleged crime. A country outside of Jamaica found you guilty of a crime, and if you were deported or moved to Jamaica or moved to any other country for that matter, that crime should not be held against you. And here's my argument where I'm against the idea of one's overseas prosecution being held against them. Court of law worldwide, in Jamaica, in the US, in England, worldwide, it has been established that courts are not perfect. It has been established that innocent people goes to jail all the time. However, if a court of law found an individual guilty within its borders, that individual is deemed legally guilty by that country's court of law and by that country's criminal framework, criminal act framework. Outside of that country, especially in Jamaica, I don't see why we should uphold that conviction or extend that conviction into the Jamaica's jurisdiction, with especially the fact that Jamaica's legal system and a foreign country's legal system are completely different legal systems. If you listen to the facts of the case, you will realize that it was just a mere accident. But when you read the title in the newspaper that published the article, you would vision this guy, Davian Scott, as a aggressive criminal who attempted to murder 2 individuals. That's pretty much how it sounds when you read it. But after hearing the story, you'll realize that it was just one of those things. It was an accident. So I'm not arguing the case in the United States of America. If he was found guilty and on the United States of America legal axis, that's how they do things, then that's how they do things. We live and we learn. And unfortunately for Davian Scott, he had to learn the hard way. However, when this individual comes back home and he's looking for work, it should not be used against him that he's a criminal, because considering that his crime was not in Jamaica, until this individual commits a crime on the soil of Jamaica, he is not a criminal, and Jamaica should not see him as a criminal. Jamaicans upholding the conviction that he had in the United States and extended it to the jurisdiction of Jamaica shows me that they put foreign countries way above themselves. They put foreign countries' judgment, foreign countries' status on a pedestal. If Jamaicans are upholding these overseas conviction as conviction in Jamaica, they are just pretty much bowing to the master. They're pretty much saying whatever that country says about you is golden. And that, in my eyes, is wrong. Everybody in this world deserves to have a fair chance in civil society. And some societies are corrupt and some societies are not. Jamaica is renowned to have a corrupt society. However, before I get ahead of myself, let me clear this up, that the individuals that's actually holding his actual U.S. conviction against him does not play a part in government, does not play a part in politics. Apparently, this young man was just trying to be honest. So in the quest of looking for work, he was pretty much just telling it as it is. Yes, when I was in America, I was convicted for this, convicted for that. Is that relevant here? Most people that he encountered said, no, it's not relevant. But one individual actually used it against him and denied him of an employment opportunity. And I felt for him, because there are criminals in Jamaica that are established criminals in Jamaica that are not even looking for work. It bothers me because as I listen to his plea, I realize that he's trying his endeavor best to do the right thing. He's not as sore. Obviously, it must have bothered him that he has to leave his wife in the United States of America, but he's just picking up the pieces and he's doing what he can do at best in Jamaica, which is find a job and get on with life. Pretty much what I suggested in my last video that I addressed deportation to Jamaica. Once again, the only reason why I'm doing this video is just to echo his plea, because he seemed like he's been trying to get in touch with some politicians to get concrete understanding of whether or not this is legal. People, everybody that are convicted in the United States of America are not guilty. They were found guilty, but they're not guilty. And everybody that gets deported to Jamaica from the United States or from any other country, they're not necessarily bad people. Law and legal framework often work on the axis of technicality. And sometimes just doing what you didn't know was a crime could get you convicted or get you deported. And as harsh as this may sound, I learned it when I was studying law. Ignorance to the law is no excuse. And as simple as I say that, it holds a whole lot of weight. Pretty much I'm saying we could just be naive to an action in a foreign country and the court do not care whether or not you knew that that was a crime or not, because under their law, in their legal framework, it is a crime. It is a law that you have violated and you have to be punished. So I'm not knocking the United States of America for deporting them or even pressing charge against them. If that's the way it works in the US, that's the way it works, and then we Jamaicans just have to respect that we share different cultures. And that's what a lot of Jamaicans suffer from when we go to foreign country. Culture shock, because their system is totally different. What could be seen as an accident in Jamaica could be seen as an aggravated crime in the United States of America. So people, what I'm asking you to do is check out the other video hear what he's actually saying, share this video, share the other video, just to get his cry out there, you know, because my channel is about sharing knowledge, but at the same time, the underlying purpose of my channel is really to help Jamaicans. Help Jamaicans understand things, help Jamaicans see things in a different way, help Jamaicans know the power, their legal powers, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty much my message for today, people. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Once again, I want to say thanks for the support. As usual on my channel, I accept agreement, disagreement, thumbs up, thumbs down, with a reasoning, because at the end of the day, each one teach one. Until next time, people, peace.